Hi there, my name is Marijn Overest and I'm the founder of Procurement Tactics. In this video, I will walk you through the in-negotiation toolkit templates. First of all, let's start with this negotiation process, which you might be aware of, but for the people who are new within the world of procurement and negotiations, I will just guide you through. So, every negotiation starts with clear preparation and planning. Where number 2 is to open the negotiation. When the negotiation is open, there's always phase number 3 where you analysis and where you influence. Then you have to have the negotiation deal-making skills to come towards closure. We have a further template to express this in a bit more detail, but as a starter, this is the clear negotiation process. Of course, there are always different phases. We need to have the strategy formed. You have the meeting phase where you will always have an introductory stage, you have a discussion stage, and you have an agreement stage. And in the end, after the deal is finally done, there's the deal implementation phase. This one is actually a bit of the same, but it's a deep dive. So here you recognize the 3 basic phases of a negotiation, where you form your strategy after preparation, where you have the meeting phases, and you have the deal implementation. The phases of a multi-meeting negotiation are always, of course, you have the pre-negotiation phase, you have the introductory meeting, then you have to prepare for the discussion meeting, you will discuss, you have a preparation for the agreement meeting, and of course you have the agreement meeting and the post-negotiation meeting. In my time as a procurement manager, I tend to focus and I put 80% of my time in this part, in the negotiation strategy forming. I worked on all different kind of analysis to know for sure where I could hit my negotiation opponent and how I could help them to achieve a deal outcome that was good for them, but also good for us. At Procurement Tactics, we really believe that empathic negotiation design is the key factor to get better deals. If you want to learn more about empathic negotiation design, we have many articles on our site that are going into this in further detail, but for now, we'll go to the next slide. Zone of potential agreement. When you're new to dealing, it's always interesting to learn about the zone of potential agreement. If the highest price the buyer is willing to pay is greater than the lowest price the seller can accept, then the agreement is possible. Otherwise, no agreement will be possible, of course. The range in the middle between these 2 reservation prices is referred to as ZOPA, Zone of Potential Agreement. The problem with Zone of Potential Agreement / ZOPA is that both parties usually have an imprecise reservation price or a different term for the same breakpoint price, and that negotiators make no formal attempt to assess information about the other party reservation / breakpoint price. So when you will be negotiating your own deals, make sure that you, of course, know your own reservation price, but also learn as soon as possible, as much as possible, about your negotiation counterpart's reservation price, because that will determine your zone of potential agreement, and in the ZOPA, all best deals, of course, are being made. When you go into your negotiation, this template will help. So before, determine which are the most important variables that will occur within these negotiations. Of course, in my time as a procurement manager, price, and this accounts for everyone, is always very important. You have number 2, investments, also very important. Number 3, payment terms. Number 4 can be a variable for yourself, which is very important. And of course, in the end, you want to have a deal delta versus last year. In times of COVID, shortage of raw materials and inflation, it was hard for procurement managers to get positive deal results, but still you want to know my final deal, how is that compared to my deal last year? So you determine what will be my opening of the negotiation based on all important variables. And here you have the total. What is your like that you would like to achieve? And your intent and your breakpoint. This gives a great overview on the steps that you could take within the negotiation, and that's a nice bridge towards the next slide. If you are thinking of giving away a new proposal based on new variables, always make sure that all the proposals that you are giving are conditional. So if you give your supplier this, I want this in return. So for example, when you buy 1 million of volume of product X or Y or services X or Y, make sure that in the end of the year you ask of your supplier a volume discount. That brings us to the record of proposals. In the end, this template it will always help you to make sure to keep track of all the proposals that you have been sending towards your suppliers and the other way around. In my time as a procurement manager, I had to deal with like 70 or 80 deals within a period of, let's say, starting in October, November and ending in February, March. So I could not remember by heart all the variables that I was negotiating about with my 70 to 80 suppliers, and I did not remember by heart the status of the deals. So every time I send out a new proposal, either by phone talking or emailing or at the table, I put in my latest bid, the latest bid of my opponent, and I called them out when I was making a huge step within the negotiation and they didn't counter or followed my huge step. And then I just showed them this. I said, okay, guys, I just made a huge offer from 14.90 to 14, and you have been not helping me out in following my step. So this template, and again on the left side, make sure to include your important variables, really helps in achieving better deal results. And that's the end of the slideshow. I hope I helped you out with an introduction about what are the most important stages of a negotiation, how to prepare for your negotiation, and which templates help you in your negotiation to achieve the best deal results. If you have any further questions, always feel free to send me an email or contact me via WhatsApp or via LinkedIn. I'm happy to help. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for putting your trust in Procurement Tactics. Bye-bye.